Number 1, driving. I still can't drive to this day. Probably because I crashed a motorbike once, and people I know have been involved in crash, so I'm just quite scared of it. Number 2, my parents' death. Number 3, my death. Number 4, locked in syndrome. Number 5, the police. Number 6, capitalism. It's just like every problem that I have ultimately goes back to capitalism in some way. Like, why are you sad? Well, I'm sad because I'm stressed. Why are you stressed? Because I'm at work. Why at work? Because capitalism means that I have to be at work. Why don't you just leave your job? Well, because I can't, because I need to pay rent. Why is that? Capitalism. Just, I don't know, everything comes back to, lack of money and lack of access and lack of opportunity. If capitalism didn't exist, then, we could all do what we wanted to do, ultimately. Number 7, being alone forever. Number 8, going deaf or blind. Number 9, not knowing who I am. This one's the most ridiculous. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been a collection of things. Those things that are like, oh, you aren't just a collection of what you like and what you don't like, and you're not just the job that you do, and you're not just the friends that you have, and you're not just your interests. It's like, well, what am I then? Who am I? If my opinions can change, if my likes and dislikes can change, if my, morals can change, and they have, at least I think at the moment, for the better, then who am I, ultimately? And I don't really know. Number 10, climate disaster. I think about all the times I've flown on a plane. I think about all the damage that I've done, and that the only way to really solve it is to not exist. But that doesn't sound terribly appealing either. And it's sort of coming for us all, and it's sort of too late now. We've elected a government that isn't going to do anything about it. They've only got like 10 more years to avert disaster, and 5 of them are going to be under this government who aren't going to do anything about it. So it's not enough time, really. And I've been thinking about this since I was a kid. We had like rainforest books in school. I've been like aware of the problems of the environment and climate and since I was young, but we live in hope. We live in hope. My name's Stephen, and these are 10 things that scare me. What are you scared of? Tell us on Twitter at nevetslt or email nevetslt@gmail.com. You know what scares me? Those things with lots of holes in them. Ugh. This week's show was inspired by the podcast 10 Things That Scare Me from wnyc Studios. Find them in your favourite podcast app or online at 10thingspodcast.org. This show is written and produced by me, Stephen Lemontree. Our outro music is Simplicity by Macleod Music. If you ever want to contact us, you can do so on Instagram and Twitter at nevetslt or email nevetslt@gmail.com. Life is getting used to being a creator because it's the only thing you'll ever truly be. We'll see you next week.